My name is Nasser Carrillos Kelly. I'm one of the instructors for the Newark Kids Code program. Today, we will be going over part 1 of how to use Scratch programming. When you open up the Scratch offline editor, you'll see a couple of things. First, on your left, you'll see what we call the stage. The stage is basically the area where you'll see your code actually working. In the stage, you'll see a sprite. Now, this sprite is just a cat, which is typical when you open up the offline editor or online editor. This is known as a sprite. A sprite is simply just a character on a stage, just like if you were to be, an actor in a movie theater. This is your script area. The script area is where you move your blocks so that you can actually program your sprite or your stage or any element to do a specific function that you tell it to do. Let's get started. As you can see, these are the blocks that you will be working with. There are several tabs for different blocks. There's the events block, which allows you to drag and drop your first block. Now, these blocks are important for starting off your program. With these blocks, you could tell the computer that you want the program to start if, let's say, the play button was clicked, or if we use a spacebar or any other button or key, or any other action. Now, the controls are basic statements that you could put into the script area to tell the program to wait, repeat, or do a function forever. Sensing allows you to program the computer to start a function when, let's say, for example, a sprite is touching another sprite, when an object is touching a certain color. You could tell the program to ask what your name is or any other question. You have operators. Now, operators are basic in that they all do some form of math. For example, you could join two math operations. You could add, subtract, multiply, and divide. You could pick a random number from 1 to 10 or any interval that you choose. You could do less than, greater than, and equal to. You could do 2 of these operations in one, or have the computer choose which one. Or you could basically put in an operator that will tell the computer not to choose a certain operation. Motion allows you to move your sprite and any other character you put on stage. For example, we could tell the sprite to move 10 steps to the right, or we could tell it to turn 15 degrees. Looks. Now, looks is very interesting. With looks, you can actually customize what your sprite says or what your stage says. And you can change colors and costumes and different backgrounds. You can do a lot of things with looks. Now, the sound is very interesting. We'll be getting into that later. But the sound blocks allow you to play a certain sound or stop a certain sound after a function has been programmed. And the pen is just like any pen you would use when taking notes, except in this program, the pen allows you to program your sprite to actually write or draw as it's moving. Really cool stuff. Okay, so we started off with when the play button is clicked. Now, of course, we haven't programmed the sprite to do anything when the play button is clicked, so let's get to that. So, let's say we want our sprite to give you a greeting. So we just drag and drop and snap the blocks together like Legos. So now, when we press the play button, our sprite says hello. And of course, you can customize it to say anything. My name is Nasser. See that? It's very simple. Now, if you were to go back into looks, we could actually replace this with another block. So let's say, for example, that we want to change the color of our cat. First, we start with clear graphic effects. This makes sure that any effects that we have placed on the stage are cleared before we continue on with the program. Then we go to control. Now, there are several options you could use. You could either repeat, or you could use forever to keep the cat changing colors for as long as the program is running. So let's say we want to repeat only 4 times. Let's go back into looks. Now, for our cat to actually change color, we have to put in the block that says change color. Real simple, right? It's as simple as that. Change color effect by 20. And you'll see, the bigger the number, the more shades we get into once the cat changes color. Let's say we want to wait a second after it's run.
Students, over here posted. Tonight office immediately go home. Students, over here posted. Please come tonight office immediately go home.
So now we put in our wait function. This tells the computer to wait a little longer, about 1 second or more after the cat has changed a certain color. And we'll repeat this 4 times. Now if we run it, you'll see that the cat has changed 4 different colors and has waited 1 second before changing to a different color. It's as simple as that. Let's get rid of this for now and move on to something else. You'll notice that as there's a cat here, there's also a cat here. This is your sprite list. This will show you how many sprites are on the current stage. But let's say, for example, we want to change this sprite. Simply click on this little character right here, choose sprite from library, and you can go through several categories of sprites, from animals to people to objects. So let's say we want to use a dog. So there, we have a dog and we have a cat. So you can see that we now have 2 sprites on the same stage. So let's get rid of the cat for now. Now we're working with the dog. Now, the dog can be programmed to actually make a sound like a regular dog. As you can see here, this is the sounds area. Now this dog already has a sound, and it's a simple bark. So let's say we want our dog to bark. So, go to our events tab, click on the when the play button is clicked, lock, and now we go into sound. Drag Sound, we want this dog to play dog 1, as it is named here. Now we want our dog to say hello. So we drag in the say hello for 2 seconds block under the looks tab. The last thing we do is make our dog move 10 steps. So, what will happen when we press the play button? As you can see, it played a sound, said hello for 2 seconds, and then moved 10 steps, as we programmed it in our script area. Let's see what else we can make our dog do. Now we get into the more sophisticated controls. So, as from the beginning, we drag our event block, and now we go to motion. Now we are able to use the go to X and Y block. With this block, we are actually able to tell the computer which coordinates on our stage we want our sprite to move to. Very simple. And let's say we wanted to point in a certain direction. So, we put the point in direction block and then type in what direction we want it to point to. Let's go to our controls. Now let's use the forever block. And as we said, forever basically tells the computer to run the program inside for as long as this stage is being played. Let's see what else we could do. I want my dog to move 10 steps, and I also want it to bounce if it's on the edge of the stage. So, let's see what this program does. Press the play button, and as you can see, it went to the origin, which is the very center of the stage, pointed 45 degrees, moved 10 steps, and then went on the edge. And since we put in the if on edge bounce block, the dog keeps bouncing. Pretty neat, huh? Now let's see. Now we're going to go into the costumes area. Now the costumes basically shows you the different types of drawings that your sprite could have. You could have the dog with its tongue out, or you could have the dog without its tongue out. This is done in costumes. When you choose a sprite, you click on that sprite, and then you go to the costumes, and you choose what costume you want the sprite to use. We go back into sounds. As we said before, each sprite is already pre-programmed with its own unique sound. In this case, since we have a dog, the sound is a simple bark. But let's say we don't want the dog to be playing in a blank stage. Let's say we want the dog to go outside. Well, like we said, this is our stage, and this is a stage. This is the stage thumbnail. This will show you the current stages we're on. If you want to change it, you would go to choose backdrop from library. And let's say we want our dog to go on a walk outside. And as you can see, we have a lot of the same options for the stage as we do for our dog. You can change the backdrop, color it, paint it, whatever. And we can go to scripts and use the same blocks that we have for the dog. So let's say we want our dog to say hello. This is a sunny day. And there, you've just written your first program in Scratch. Now we go to File, Save, and let's save it as Program 1. And there, we have our program saved. Now we can exit out of Scratch. You know enough to write your first program in Scratch. Don't forget to subscribe, like, or leave a comment below. Thank you.